just a representative in this tournament, but it does feel like they're going up against the final boss in round 1. If they lose, they are out. I'm going to ask you guys, do you see a world where EDG do it? They actually beat 100 Thieves today?
I think the world it's possible. I mean, we haven't really seen them play in a while. It's a single elimination tournament, and we've only seen 100 Thieves pop off on the previous patch. Yeah. So I think you'd be a fool to say it's impossible, but I think 100 Thieves are favorites.
Yep, when I look into the future and I see the multiple opportunities for various different futures, there's only one, right? And they have to control the tempo. They have to put 100 Thieves on the back foot, and they have to run it down. And that's what Edward Gaming are good at. They have the talent to do it. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with that one as well. I do think we want to set those expectations that it should be 100 Thieves as those heavy favorites, because in the one universe or whatever you're looking at, Don, where it is Edward Gaming ended up winning, I mean, at that point, we will have to just be singing their praises, right? You know, how much they've actually managed to achieve here on the international stage. But, I mean, we will only know until we get into that first map, and we are getting into that map select.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from the map select, to be honest. EDG should be looking very different with the role swaps, 100 Thieves as well. I guess I'm just looking for maps where I can understand how they would empower Cryo. I think that's the big thing to me. And I think 100 Thieves are going to be so comfortable on Icebox.
What do you think about this, Don? Were you expecting Icebox to come out first from 100 Thieves?
Honestly, I didn't expect the Ascent ban more than anything. You know, you have Cryo on the Jet, who's just such a dominant force for XSET last year that you think that you would lean into that weapon, but maybe they have some information on, you know, how EDG like to play and how they like to call, and maybe they're trying to put them on the back foot early. 100
Thieves floating Lotus and EDG go for it immediately.
I love it. I'm so excited.
I feel like it makes sense for EDG being the underdogs. I've seen way too many favorite teams picking Lotus and beefing it in this tournament so far. So I think it does make a lot of sense. It feels like the most volatile map currently in the tournament.
Yeah, but Pearl as a decider, I think, is going to be working out quite nicely for 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
As a team, Pearl as a map, I think, really suits just being able to be solid with your fundamentals in terms of how you're scaling into sites, how you're playing off one another. Pearl as a decider seems like it should be going their way. But
I think Howdong is going to have his work cut out for him going up against Stella. Stella was talking in a recent interview with Wyatt about how different the team looks with Wyatt being there, with Mike's HD being the head coach instead of Sean. So I think that you're going to see Stella's IGL come to the forefront a lot more.
Oh my goodness, EDG have instantly locked in. Harbor on Smoggy, he was their duelist Jet player. What is going on in this Prime Gaming post-match Prime Gaming Agent Select?
Yeah, this is going to be, okay, so the Viper, Harbor, I'm
Wait, Cryo?
Cryo on Omen?
What in the world is happening here?
Yeah, this is really weird. Okay.
Don, break it down for me. Cryoman, what do you think? Yay or nay?
Well, you know, just knowing Cryo, I know he likes to fill and lock smokes and rank to get that #1 spot when he absolutely has to. So I know he has the mechanics to play the role. I know he has the understanding to play the role. So I just see this as a flexibility thing. He's showing that he can flex for his team, which is something that people have been doubting of him. So this is his chance to show that flexibility, show that he can help his team by allowing the other players on his team to flourish in their individual roles.
Well, I'm very, very excited. Psycho, thank you so much for joining us. But It's time to jump into Icebox with your casters, Doug and Baller.
Thank you so much, Sue. Yeah, Ball, to our pleasant surprise, we have something to talk about right off the bat, and that's Cryo on Omen. What are they cooking?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. All I know is Mike's is definitely somebody who cooks on Icebox. We've seen him multiple times throughout iterations of different teams, both 100 Thieves and even all the way back to when he was coaching Envy at Masters Berlin. He was the guy who kind of pioneered Sageless on Icebox way back when. So I'm expecting something, and it better be good, because you're taking Cryo off of a potential duelist role, taking him off of a, good op role in the Omen. It's still definitely viable, but let's see. And then on EDG, they're cooking too. This could be the first, other than Vitality earlier, the second Harbor pick in this Omega bracket.
Which I'm very excited to see. We saw him use it a lot towards B previously, but this time it's going to be towards A. And then also note, as we think about this composition, how to play it, you've got Viper walls, you have Harbor walls to work with as well. The double controller should help you establish a lot of space on the site.
Right away, though, 100 Thieves is playing up in this 410 position. You have Cryo with the flash. This wall is going to try to isolate them.
Cryo, the first to fall. As Howdong plays around some of his teammates' utility. EDG is getting a couple of these early kills, but boy, are they weak. Stellar and Bang, the two that remain, as you see Stellar trying to creep across. One dashes right across the screen. Spike planted. How do they get past this 2v4? Spike ticking away, and so onus is on 100 Thieves. Stellar able to pick Smoggy out of the sky. What else can he find? Avoiding the dart, avoiding the molly as well. But it's just buying time. Bang just drops down straight to his death. As Kong is 3 on the round. Now Stellar in an outrageously difficult situation. Only really gets nothing. He had one shot at one, but that's all it was. EDG got the pistol.
I love this from EDG. Right away throwing us straight into it. And the staying power they had on that, maybe it's because of the comp right away, but also just Kong being able to frag. He had that frenzy, he gets through. 100 Thieves tries to play up and counter what you would go for with that Harbor. And it just doesn't work out at all. But I do have to say, the first couple of things that I see here from 100 Thieves in response to the Harbor pick tells me that they're prepared. The way that Asuna walked out deep on Raptors behind that wall as well.
Yeah.
It's like they know the angles already. That doesn't mean that they're going to be able to completely counter everything right off the bat. And obviously EDG coming in with pace too.
They're going to get another attempt at trying to weather the A hit from EDG. As you see the drone, the same wall coming up from Harbor as we saw previously. But this time a bit of delay out of the attacking side.
And you can see as well the Harbor high tide covers all the way through Rafters.
Holy smokes. I mean, you had the molly, the shock dart, the nano, and then the cascade too. Do such a good job of trying to clear that area of the map out. Now they start to creep their way forward. Kong with the Marshall. It doesn't get much easier than that, does it?
I feel like I haven't even looked at anywhere on the map. Obviously we've gone to A twice, but I haven't looked at the setups or anything. Just because Kong is really, even in the first 2 rounds, using almost every single angle available to him on that A side. Yep. Going and floating over towards Gen, using the rope to get towards 410. A lot of variability in what you have to expect here. And then they could flip the map, and then they could start to play slow. I think Don said on the desk, I want to see EDG run it down at them if they want to have a chance in this, and so far so good. That box is checked.
It's early too, man. Kong's already on 6 kills. Round 3, 1 point away from having the Blade Storm online. And this is going to be a different look. This time they're going to head over to B.
And you could commit this Viper Wall towards B without any hesitation at all in the default. And this is what it is. You talked about the kills. It's netted Kong his knives already.
And a quick note there, because of that, he's able to hand the Marshall off to nobody. Bang playing on the other side of the wall as they've established yellow control. Again, you see the utility dumped across.
Trying to use the Cove to get this plant down. Over top of the Viper Wall, there's not going to be too much spam.
Dude, the utility that they're using, again, the Cove, the Cascade, the High Tide, the Viper Wall, everything. Meticulously dissecting and devouring every area of the site.
But here's where the Omen pick comes into real good fruition. You've got the flash and the smokes to really have dynamic retake opportunities.
There was that flash that you just mentioned. Derek able to get the opening kill. Remember, they have rifles here. This should not be a fair fight. And so far, it's going 100 Thieves' way. It's just one left on the side of EDG. Makes it a 1v2. 47 HP, though. Not much left to work with. A 3K for Derek and 100 Thieves with the first.
I think that comes down to the post-play, or the delay utility, even with that Cove, even with the High Tide covering space on top of the Viper Wall as well. The utility from 100 Thieves just bought a lot of time, and they felt super comfortable waiting for that and then going for the retake. And Chichu on the flank taking way too long to be any sort of value, but also just the retake coming in really quickly as well.
EDG once again set up towards B early on. That's our 100 Thieves have 3 of their members playing. No real mid presence other than the turret and kitchen.
Yeah, I have to say the tendency so far from EDG is to just send it on the first exploration they have. So I would not expect them to pivot off of this.
Yeah.
Although with Chichu's position, he's definitely holding the flank to make sure that they maintain that space if they do want to pivot.
And as much as we've talked about EDG sending it or trying to maintain pace to apply pressure on 100 Thieves, this round is a bit more quiet, a bit more careful. As I say, they're slowing down. You see Kong dash across the site and instantly get popped.
And look, as soon as that goes in the favor of 100 Thieves, they're falling back. And they don't have the orb to pop up anymore, so they have to take the fight, and nobody just demolishes Derek.
Yeah, man, I thought Derek had the beat on that for sure.
There's nobody here on the A site right now. Chichu does not have that read, though. This will get the information, but as well going for the res, so Still an advantage situation for 100 Thieves. Good retake last round. Let's see what they can cook on this A site this time. Cryo with the smoke, it's still just as impactful. You can throw it up on the pipes, and you can smoke off the spike.
It'll be interesting to see how EDG plays this. The Reckoning confirmed that there is nobody on site, so the retake that you were just referring to is on full display here. They play off site. Nobody has one shock dart left to work with. There it is. Instantly gets used. Smoggy playing up in heaven again, using the utility to buy some space, to buy some time. Nobody peeking just on the other side of the cascade, but Asuna's going to stick it. He's going to get it the whole way there, and that's exactly what he does. Stellar with 3 on the round. 100 Thieves tie it up.
And that's Cryo right there. That's what I was talking about, the retake smokes. Clearly, EDG not really concerned with it. They thought they had the retake completely under control. With that cascade going to the backside, blocking off the gen angle. But everybody was fighting in front, and they just did not have the information about what was going on, where Asuna was. Stellar doing such a good job as well. Nice 2 shots as well from him.
Yeah, very clean. Note here, it is going to be a lighter buy for EDG. There is the Hunter's Fury in play for nobody as the counter to Stellar's lockdown.
Kong bot. Kong's got a Vandal, so he's got a hero rifle. Saw what he could do in the first 2 rounds, but a lot of confidence put into him by Haodong.
I mean, you got to put tools in your playmaker's hand, surely. We'll see if it pays off.
First mid look at all for EDG. Haodong's all the way up inside the tube already, and 100 Thieves is very passive on watching it, so he could definitely find some damage if they're not careful of the timings.
There's the lockdown used. No Hunter's Fury invested yet, and they may just not use it. They may just rotate away.
They'll get the position of Chichu. I mean,
Yeah,
he took the rope. He's all the way top 410.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's so far up.
Oh, he heard him. For sure he heard him inside that tube. But did not really get the information about the cross right now, and still nobody's really looking. Derek has his Hunter's Fury. He could definitely delay this plan a little bit. Oh, they're so careful about what's on A already. They have an inkling.
Oh, a temporary moment of silence is now Haodong putting his orb up. You imagine he can apply pressure through mid-map. Also keep an eye on Kong. He's on the opposite side of the map right now. The Hunter's Fury invested. Spike tap, 20 seconds left. You don't really have time to rotate. You got to commit here. And off of that, Kong died towards B.
Still so much control on the A side. They have to go when the spike's getting planted. 13 seconds, he's not on it yet.
No.
The flash delays even more.
And the shock dart bought some time too, with 2 clean shots out of Chichu. Stellar equalizing it. Nobody landing the shots with the classic 2 seconds left. The spike's not going to go down.
Shock.
Derek has to stay alive. Oh my gosh, the sidestep just in the nick of time.
Oh my goodness. Derek stays clean, just sidesteps by an inch.
14 HP.
And I love how nobody knew immediately to go for that. That margin is so close. And that shot from nobody as well, just randomly no-scoping through the Viper wall. He gets punished eventually. I mean, there is some heroics going on for EDG right now. It's just not quite enough. That was an eco though, mind you. They invested not only a lockdown for 100 Thieves, but also a Hunter's Fury. So EDG did a great job, and by the way, nobody did not use his Hunter's Fury.
Yeah.
He didn't use it.
Yeah.
So they've got an ult stack of their own with no counters on the other side from 100 Thieves. This is a big turnaround round here.
And you feel that in the timeout that it's instantly invested on the side of EDG. Make sure you've got everything covered, right? Like this is a very pivotal round in the first half, as you were mentioning.
You see, actually, Mike is the one most active here inside of the EDG timeout.
And it seems like, as you see these 2 coaches on screen, it seems like 100 Thieves has also invested a timeout. So back-to-back here. I want to very quickly refer to, we talked about Wyatt on the desk earlier, but there was a really cool podcast he had with Stellar where they talked about the differences between Mike's and Sean, their previous head coach, and some of the differences when it comes to how rigid they are in their set pieces versus a bit more fluidity for the caller on the side of 100 Thieves. And I think when you think about situations like this, the fact that EDG are at a pivotal round here, this is where you see some of this come to play.
God, I would love to know and get insight onto exactly what's happening right now. Because this is not a normal situation, guys, right now. Edward Gaming called the timeout after losing that round. They know it's a pivotal round for them. And then Mike, or whoever it might have been on 100 Thieves, calls one as well because they understand the situation too.
And it's early, right? Like, we're not like 10-10, 11-10, something like that. This is really early in the map.
so much time to discuss, so much time to pivot off of original plans as well. I'm gonna get back into it momentarily here. But again, to reiterate, now that we can see the money, 100 Thieves, their economy's not great. They don't have a bank. They used 2 ults in the last round that would have been just the most crucial ones in account of what Edward Gaming has online right now, the Hunter's Fury and the Lockdown. They don't have anything to really counter that. They don't have a KO. They do have shocks and mollies. Maybe they could figure something out like that. But already Stellar's setting up his mollies on A, so I totally expect Edward to just walk up towards pipes and get that lockdown. But look what 100 Thieves is doing as well. Instant pressure towards B with a one-way onto Garage.
3 players over there as well. It looked like they were expecting something, but no, it's in fact more positioning and aggression towards A from EDG. The drone used early. Also note, there's no one playing towards B long to make sure there are no rotations or anyone flanking around. They are fully committing to A here, Bala.
That drone just got a lot of information that the site is clear, and I think that also they don't invest the lockdown because of that. Just that early information, nothing's being thrown, no utility. And now they have the ability to use that in a post plant. But Chichu's fighting on the flank here. Oh, bang! Has a big opportunity to close up this round.
Smoke, if you're precarious, now you see the Hunter's Fury through as the fight starts to erupt across the site. Again, you have to keep an eye on the pressure coming in from the flank. Bang's able to get a Chichu. Can he find anything else? The pressure has to be applied now. Nobody falls. Now Cryo pushing forward. They've got him pinched. They've got him stymied. They've got him suffocated. And they've got him done.
The plan from beginning to end there, set up the B flank, get that control, and bang. Goes absolutely nuclear. Would love to see him take down the 2 players who were 100% focused on him, rather than the fight that was going in on the site. 100 Thieves, great job there on the retake again.
And it was such a good pinch, right? Like, Cryo smoked for Bang from coming in on the retake. The smoke comes through, Bang gets these 2 kills, and Cryo's pushing in at the exact same time. They had him pinched. The timing on that was gorgeous.
Back in the game here.
Yeah, you still have Chichu's ult. Now you've got Smoggy's Reckoning as well.
Yeah, they used that to clear for information last time, rather than to try to execute with it. And again, 3 players towards B. Mike immediately out the timeout. They're recognizing the amounts of pressure being put here by Edward Gaming at the beginning of these rounds. And it's funny because it slowed down immediately on the other side too, knowing that's not something you're going to be able to rely on with how dynamic the calling is on this game. There's the lockdown going in.
The only thing they have as far as defenses on A is the utility from Stellar. And it caused some problems in the previous round. It caused a little bit of damage. But that's it for now. Smoggy getting the spike down.
Look how much farther. Oh, bang with the spam on the Kang.
There's the Reckoning, and it's going in aggressive, but do they scale up with it? Do they push with it? Or is it just to send them back, to buy some space? I mean, they're flashed up to high heaven. They can't see a dang thing. Cryo gets a kill onto nobody as it traded back and forth. Now 3v3 left for the round. Kong weak. Spike ticking away. He's fallen. 41 HP left for Chichu, and he's going to fall as well. It's just down on Smoggy. He's got a Guardian, and he's got a 1v2 before him.
Oh, my goodness.
Cryo with 3 on the round. Stellar's going to get the defuse as well.
He just TPs up. He just goes somewhere where you're not supposed to be in the defensive retake and just completely catches Edward again off guard. These retakes are unbelievable. As soon as the gun round started, and that one was really, really different in approach from Edward. They were, I mean, Kong pushed way up. Nobody pushed way up. Most of the time they were falling back, trying to play post plant and spam down the diffuser up in side of the nest where they plant.
Yeah.
This time, it took a lot more, and it was disjointed from 100 Thieves, so there's definitely a gap there. They choose to continue to play up close, but they've got to have a little bit more in terms of the team play.
Blades from used instantly by Kong. Pressure towards A as we've seen before. Interesting that they invest the Viper Spit out from Bang towards B.
Wow.
That's also the first time we see the Sage Wall.
Yeah. Sage Wall invested on top of having the turret and kitchen, which, by the way, spots both the top tube, walk up, and the under tube.
So you've got kitchen covered, you've got top tube and under tube covered, you've got B long covered, and this is all invested on a pistol round.
Yeah. And remember, most time, ooh, this walk up from Kong. Really nice and silent. And behind the Viper wall too, so That's not information that you have. Most of the time, 100 Thieves is playing off-site. This time, they have players who can definitely go ahead and pop and flood onto the site.
But they've been had. You see Concon trying to get aerial, trying to find something, a
Love
kill,
this.
and no, Cryo gets it.
He just smokes and walks up, takes the space that they're not taking, and is able to isolate fights just like that. Mid-split going in, double Viper wall, or double wall and high tide on both sides, and Stellar still!
No way, bro, no way.
How do you do that? The off-season magic continues from him.
Just a read on the game. Cryo getting another kill. It's a 5v1. Nobody's truly done and dusted here. Yeah, I want to very quickly, Balla, kind of pick your brain on this, because we talked at the beginning of the map about Cryo and Omen, right? And Cryo's known for being electric. He's mechanically insane. He's normally played these duelist roles, have a little bit of room to work with. And we asked questions around why Omen. Well, no shot. Okay, 2. All right. But we asked why Omen, right? And the more I watch him play, I've seen him aggressively, right? Teleport, take space, take these fights with his flashes. I figure if you're going to put him on a controller, Omen probably makes the most sense because of his mobility and his playmaking ability too.
Yeah, it definitely adds a little element of playmaking, but it also removes some as well.
Sure.
But I think this is going to be, especially if you continue to have this type of idea from 100 Thieves, add a little element to Cryo's game that, I mean, he had just not in massive droves, right? The team play element to play for his teammates. And I think Cryo is that smart, cerebral player that you have the ability to give him those tools and to support great players on throughout the entire roster. Bang, Asuna as well, Derek too. Like everybody, if they're playing all for each other and not just using everything for Cryo, that definitely adds tons of value.
Yeah, absolutely. Derek grabbing that orb early on, getting the Hunter Shuri on mine, while the drone, the Harbor utility, and the Spike are towards B. The thing is here, they have that alarm bot just on the other side of B long.
I mean, they have 2 lurks going on over towards A right now for Edward. And just frequently you're having so many players rotate towards the B side early. And there's actually nobody on A right now for 100 Thieves. This could go in so many different directions right now because there's volatile elements everywhere.
An outrageous shot. Smoggy getting the spike down. The Hunter Shuri used. Remember, there are still 2 members from EDG over towards A. They tap the spike, they draw out utility, and then they're going to go back A.
Yeah, this looks really reminiscent of that round where we had the lockdown invested on the eco. The Hunter's Fury from Derek as well. Almost identical here. They're pivoting, but Asuna's here. They also have the wall for post plant, still a lot of tools, but this Viper's Pit is going to be really difficult to deal with, cutting off the rotation in from Cryo from screens.
And he has an op. How does he navigate that? Well, like that. Okay.
That's the Viper's
Pit
Pit down!
It's gone! That was the shroud that they had to play around! Asuna getting another kill. Chichu trading it back. 3v3 here. No ults to speak of. Cryo. Shot going just a bit wide, just a bit errant. While Concons does not. That's the op out of the hands of 100 Thieves for now. 3v2. Numbers heavily tilting back in favor of EDGs as they get a round back. Dude, I loved how EDG played that round, right? They quietly get 2 into A, they take the spike B, tap, draw out the Hunter's Fury, and then they know they're gonna end A off the pit.
And that's a tendency that we've already seen. 100 Thieves definitely gets a little scared. I mean, I called it out right at the beginning of the game. There's the shot from Cryo, by the way, on a Howdong. It's a tag from a drone. I thought for sure Edward, just on the playstyle and what I've seen at Champions, they were going to full send every time they start to go in one direction. And clearly that's not the case, but 100 Thieves look to have that in their prep. Look to have that as one of their win conditions, is simply just put down your utility early and let them go ahead and W key.
Note the buy for 100 Thieves is light. Cryo has taken a lot of space up B long. Again, flank covered by Chichu. Reckoning, that's the 3rd one of the half, by the way.
Stellar stunned up top. They're not getting through, though. Just a fake again. Cryo's got a shorty up close. They're going to go into him. No. Chichu's too aware. And that's a full rotate now from 100 Thieves.
The thing about these hits is that they take a little while for them to fully manifest on the side of EDG, and it gives 100 Thieves a chance to rotate over, but the gun difference here is very considerable. Stellar the only one with a rifle. But for Asuna, that may be a rifle on its own.
Oh, wait. They've brought this back. The spike's down right now.
Oh, but the thing is, Concon's in kitchen, and they have no idea. The op to the back of the head. Asuna's dead.
But they're all back at Snowman right now. And there's not really anything to block the sight lines. The wall's been used over towards the other side. Derek gets another one.
The spike's not down either. It hasn't been planted. It has to be on Concon right now to create some space. And no, now Chichu's left in this 1v3. How the heck have 100 Thieves done this? Managed to potentially steal around away.
No way, investing it.
I mean, you've got to risk it, right? You've got to secure it. You've got to do your darndest to get there.
You're 65 HP, though, against the weapons that they have. Oh, my goodness.
They just waited out here, surely. They're going to have to wait it out, but they should get the defuse.
Yeah, easily. Ooh. I was looking at that. The fact that 100 Thieves of Money was low in the first place was surprising to me on that. But you could see the impact that some of these nasty shots that the Edward Gaming players are hitting on all rounds are really digging into it, but it ends up not mattering. Down the line, 100 Thieves with the big thrifty on round 10, by the way, which gives them bank for the rest of the game, rest of the half, I should say, and breaks EDG's economy right back as well.
One enemy reloading.
Derek was so clean with those Marshall shots.
I just love Chichu as well. Just fully confident in himself. Pops the lockdown immediately, says, okay, I can win this. And that would have been huge too. That was a round that could have swung things to be a very, very close game. Oh, Cryo. He tried to TP on top of that wall. They used that wall earlier, kind of surprisingly, remember?
Yeah.
And they didn't TP on top. This time, they say, okay, we're not going to do that. Trying to condition them to not worry about it. And yet they still are. Good discipline from EDG.
Bang tagged by the dart, has to back up. They get the res for Cryo back online.
getting
Are they
ulted.
dropping the Hunter Fury? Yeah, on the res. Oh, he got away.
Oh, the second!
No! Derek, how is he still alive? He's got 8 HP.
He's getting healed through all of that as well. Bang staying in front of the cascade. Every time there's somebody up here, they're just so aware of how 100 Thieves is playing retake on A. But they're not really able to get past this lane.
It's a big shot out there from Concon. He had to land that. He'd scaled so far up without triggering any of the utility.
Oh no!
That's gonna hurt. He's got to dash in forward. He's got no real way to go.
Cryo with not the jet movement there. Almost loses his life, but we're going back for another 5v5 retake. It was a low buy here for EDG, but definitely still some punch to it too.
Nobody with one shock dart. Howdong with 2 Viper Mollies to work with here.
And the flank coming from nobody as well. With how long 100 Thieves has taken to group up here, that could definitely come into effect. He's got a Bulldog as well.
There's the first bit of utility, post-plant to delay, to buy some time. And now there's nobody on the flank, as you just mentioned. Viper Molly's going through, trying to buy their time. They have to take the fight to EDG's doorstep, and they try and they fail. It
The
does
defuse
not
again.
go
No,
their way.
not the defuse
Not again. Asuna does it again! That's the second time the Red Bull clutch comes through!
That is just so sad to watch that happen twice, but I mean, there's the pick in the omen. Twice. You don't expect it to get value like that. But that's what happens when you really don't see it too often. You're just not comfortable against it. And I can guarantee you, you're not really seeing much of this. This has kind of been historically an NA pick.
Oh, that's so deflating.
They've had so many chances to come back into this, and it's just slipped out of their hands.
Op in the hands of Cryo, the turret cleared out. Very similar setup offensively from EDG as what we've seen previously.
I have to say, since EDG has slowed down, definitely feels like they've been less explosive. But they're really trying to exploit the way that 100 Thieves is playing that A site. But Concon, while he's still getting some frags, he's just not being as much of an explosive factor that we saw in the first 2. And I have to say as well, scoreline 8-3, it feels like a much closer game, much closer affair.
I mean, those 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, I mean,
We're
we could be
talking
looking
about
7-5 half instead.
It's been so close. You see EDG, again, the synergy of utility that they have to try to clear out these back-gen corners on A. Flawless. And while there's no one there, they've taken the space. They've taken Cryo's life, too. What a shot from Smoggy. gonna have a shot at another no bang, wins out that duel. Start to see some of the utility. Chi-Chu on the flank. He's gonna try to exploit mid-map.
Nobody behind the wall.
One
Only
for
one.
one. 3v3 here. They've got a wall to hide behind. Derek's gonna be able to hold it to half. He might be able to hold it the entire way. No, the wall cleared out. Utility still at his feet. How much more can they hide behind now? Chi-Chu's timing perfect. Derek in this 1v3 with 46 HP. He's not gonna pull it off. EDG gets a 4. Still an impressive half out from 100 Thieves. And really, EDG, too. Again, we were just talking about it, Ball. This could easily be 6-6, 7-5.
Yeah, I think back to that double timeout that we had and how adaptations kind of slowed down after that. EDG definitely putting the 100 Thieves to the test, but still solid from 100 Thieves all around.
All right, we've got a little something special cooked up for you all at home. We've got Golden Boy standing by for a little interview. GB, take it away, brother.
Hello, yes, I'm joined by Kaide, Tens, as well as Zek, and I'm sure you guys back at home know them perfectly fine. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. How are you guys enjoying Sao Paulo so far?
It's amazing. I love it. It is very humid here,
Yes.
but it's great.
Look at my forehead. I'm glistening. Okay. What about for you, Zekin? I haven't had a chance to talk to you. I talked to you already. How you doing, Zekin?
Good, good. I
Yeah?
love Sao Paulo. The food's amazing.
Oh, that's right, baby. It's delicious. You know what, though, Tens? I heard that you guys have this like little bromance thing going on right now that Psycho was telling me about. Was it like a directive, like, you know, play with the kid, get him into the system, or do you really just genuinely like hanging out with him?
Yeah, so this one right here, he's my son.
It's your child.
Yeah, he's my son.
Excellent.
Perfect. So
Okay.
obviously, that synergy's there.
Okay, excellent. So can I like be the grandfather?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yes, technically,
Okay, can
yes.
be the grandpappy just coming through. Are you guys playing your ranked games today? Well, look, jokes aside though, Kaide, I want to get your thoughts, you know, most importantly on when are we going to see pro player Kaide take the stage finally and make her debut?
Wait, why do you think I'm here? I'm the 6th man.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap it. When they need the heavy hitters,
Exactly.
they roll through. Well, I mean, guys, I think it's safe to say this game's heating up. It's obviously been a fun time here. Before we throw back over to the casters to get into the action, really, you know, are you guys excited to play in this environment? Because when the crowd comes through, man, this place is deafening.
Yeah, this looks awesome. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. and
What
hope-
about you?
I can't wait. I can't wait to play.
Yeah? Yeah, you're gonna do anything special, or you got anything cooked up that we can learn about for tomorrow?
I can't wait to test.
We're just gonna have to wait and see. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for just taking time to join us, having a good time here. Obviously, this has been a wild time here, and we're gonna be jumping right back into the game. And what's going on right here?
That dance is dedicated to Tarek. We know you're watching.
Hello, Tarek.
We're out.
The dance just doesn't die, and quite frankly, I'm glad it doesn't. That needs to stay.
Oh my goodness, good to hear from the family. And back into this game, 8-4 in the first half. I'm very curious how this Omen is going to play out on the attacking side now from 100 Thieves. And just like we saw from Cryo, I definitely think that there's some massive retake opportunities. Look at this mid-split. They've smoked off Boiler, and they're just running it down at nobody right now.
Dude, nobody had so much to deal with, and they continue to apply pressure. Bangbot walks away with 2.
I mean, there's 3 players in the flank right now. Turret is down. Stellar's not in range, but Derek already should hear. No, I don't think he does. Either way, the information that they have, Cryo walked through the smoke in the other direction by TPing up into his smoke.
I mean,
And they have complete information.
Yeah, they have really everything they could possibly ask for. They've even got a cheeky little wall.
It's
but look
planted
at,
for them, too.
Yeah, they're playing far up on it. They just want to take the fight
I
mid.
love this. Retaking this space that is crucial for them to fight the guys on site. Leave Derek to it. And a good smoke for the escape, too.
Howdong struggled in the first half, but that's a very clean kill. Kills going back and forth. Howdong with 21 HP in this 1v3. Stellar's weak, but this time's not on his side. The spike wasn't either, and 100 Thieves win the pistol.
EDG won the first one. So we go 50-50 on them. 9-4 right now. This is definitely a good place for 100 Thieves to solidify this lead a little bit more. Once the gun rounds start, you have no clue how it's going to take us.
Just so difficult to deal with all of that mid-aggression in a pistol, right? It's unexpected, it's overwhelming.
It's not normally, honestly.
It is not normal.
I mean, the double smoke, again, the uncomfortableness of teams who have never played against Omen. Not saying that EDG, they might be experienced, they might not be. Just by those 2 defuses alone, I think I lean towards not experienced. And you don't really consider that possibility. All of a sudden, your comms are going crazy. They smoked mid twice. And what do you do in that case? You don't have the protocols built for it.
Absolutely, yeah. It just becomes reaction at that point, and that's where things can get real hairy. Quiet start to this round for 100 Thieves. Note, there isn't really much of an investment for EDG here. There's also nobody at B. Wall goes up, spike goes down, and it's going to be on EDG to try to attempt this post plant.
Interesting investment of the Viper wall here as a retake. You can definitely get on the spike and pressure them by having to spam through the... What is that from Derek? I mean, just through the smoke, finding the timing. I guess you're just trying to catch him as he walks through.
Oh, the only
and
logical...
it's a double spam, by the way, too, with Bang, so they're 100% like trying to insta-kill somebody.
Yeah, the only logical explanation is they have heat-seeking bullets. It's just been outrageous. They've done it so many times.
When did that gun come out?
It's the new meta. Again, you start to see some of the spam through as Stellar's trying to deal with the flank coming around. This round all but done. And that's 10 for 100 Thieves. The Prime Gaming Flawless comes through.
I was hoping to see a little bit of the retake idea with that Viper wall being used. And I'm curious if they're going to consistently stick with that, because the defensive ideas with the Harbor Viper has been to actually have double coverage with the Viper wall on the defensive side of A, right? Just cover up, much like Bang, or Bang was using his Viper wall in the first half.
Sure.
But then to also, when the fuel is down, keep that high tide coming. And you can have almost 100% coverage throughout the round with that.
EDG, this in a lot of ways feels like do or die. You've got to be able to win this round, start to get some things rolling your way.
How quick do 100 Thieves recognize there's only one player on the site right now in Chichu?
Nobody close by, but you're right, there's not a lot here. Instantly pushed off of Nest as they have to go for the second option. Chichu playing inside the smoke.
Oh.
He's going to be able to scale up a decent amount, and Cryo was waiting for it, but Chichu wins out the duel anyway. That's the second one. He's been a pest.
And that's a lot of the post plan down as well. Derek still with shocks. Oh, the Molly's going to vulnerable up Asuna.
Oh, just on the other side of the wall, and Concon dashes away. And now it may be on, yeah, it may be on Howdong to try to seal the defuse away, but no, they're just going to get the kills through.
Talk about heat seeking too. Smuggy's tracking him through the wall all the way. I thought Asuna might have an opportunity there with the rope movement that he's so well known for, but EDG do such a good job breaking up the site again, using that wall into great effect. And Chichu as well, silent on the site, and that might have lulled them into a false sense of security that they're playing, much like 100 Thieves defensive side protocols were like. Just back up, give them the site, retake as a flood. It's a good anti-bonus from EDG. One of the many rounds they'll need right now. 5 gap.
Nobody bringing a Bulldog into this round, but Vandals and Phantoms the rest of the way.
Standing ahead.
It's really difficult with that cascade going deep down, and then a high tide to follow up as well to really take this space from him. And Derek doesn't have the drone. I'm not sure if it was broken earlier, if he just didn't have the money for it. Flash through anyways. Kong's in a great position here.
Yeah,
they're not clearing.
Flash, they drop down, and Derek falls. Bang ready to receive on the other side, though. Bang! What a shot! Cryo still pushing his way forward through all of the Harbor utility. They managed to establish control on B.
Cryo looks like he's been playing the controller role his entire time. I really thought just on that swing that was Bang. That Bang doing work as well. And they've got the res too to lock this round up almost entirely.
Surely, yeah. And you've got heavy numbers. You've got the wall sectioning off the plant still. Nobody doesn't have money. So you imagine this is just a save at this point. Try to keep these 2 weapons in the next round. But it's going to be dire times for EDG here, Bala.
It absolutely is. They probably will be able to scrape together a buy. And they are dangerous players. No matter what, no matter if it's Guardians, Light Armor, whatever. Smoggy with the 2.8K, he should be able to full buy. Kong Kong and Haodong as well. Should be able to get something going. And I'm curious how far Kong Kong is from the knives too. 2 tips away. There's the final timeout for Edward. And they've got a long time to cover with it as well.
Dude, Bang just plucked him out of the sky.
Yeah.
That was outrageous.
He's such a nasty player who's coming into his element, I think, with the addition of Cryo. I talked about it a little bit when we were having that conversation about Cryo on Omen and how that kind of can unlock your other players and how Cryo can be playing for you rather than the opposite way around.
Yeah.
And I think that's been the key. A lot of times last year for 100 Thieves, it was a big focus on trying to set up Will for success, and for good reason. But even when Cryo was playing Duelist, I mean, when he was playing Chamber in the offseason, it felt like they didn't really need to support him as much, and that has unlocked Bang in a massive way.
And you know, we go all the way back to their LCQ run last year. It felt like Bang was the most improved, and he just continues to get better through this offseason. Now you're seeing it here. He's played exceptionally well. And I think this goes back to what you were saying too, even if when we take a look at the kill distribution here in a moment, there is no heavy lifting from one player. It's been a team effort.
Yep. I mean, look at this. Stellar's on top. It doesn't mean much. He's calling a great game.
He is.
But the spread is what you're talking about, what you're referencing right there. Almost everybody within the 5 except for Asuna. And at this point, he's relegated to putting the wall down.
Yeah, it's a tough fight for a stage on Icebox, but if you have your roster and Asuna is the one who has the least amount of kills, I think you're doing okay.
And you're dominating like this?
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of Navi a little bit yesterday, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Aggressive here. They try to deny Kong Kong the orb. He doesn't go for it. He gets through. Does take a little bit of a damage, but look at the high tide as well. They cover all of it. They drone back through. They have a lot of space deep up A.
Yeah, I really like how they used all the Harbor utility and the drone out from nobody to set up Concon to either set up for a duel or just take the space. And now they've darted back A. They're getting so much info and so much space off of this pressure A. And that's the thing, is you're going to want to set up your star in situations like this. He has to be your playmaker.
Yeah, but the big thing, they invested that, right? So they don't have the drone to clear potentially this Viper's Pit that's going to go down for Bang.
Yeah.
And this is a massive round. Could put 100 Thieves on match point. There's the ult coming in. The wall. Have they broken it? Asuna goes down before the plant.
Haodong was so close to him there. But Stellar, wise to it, waiting. Is he expecting a second? He looked like he was, but Smokey wins out the duel anyway. Spike still not planted. Bang attempting. They've got the Reckoning they're going to have to deal with as well. A 3v2 here turns into a 2v2. Derek has the ult. 1v2. Derek, so good in clutch situations historically. He's going to have to pull off a bloody miracle to win this one, though.
They're stacked on top of each other.
There's not a lot of time. The Spike just on the other side. And while it looked precarious for just a moment, Derek has such little health. They even gave him the 1v1, but the shots do not land as EDG get to 6.
So crucial there. Not only to deny the plant the first time, if that went down, all of a sudden they're all playing in the pit. We've got a completely different situation in front of you. But then to play that clutch as well against Eric, here's Haodong just finding Asuna.
He was so close to him the entire time. Gutsy call from him, but again, single a limb, best of 3, it has to be Gutsy the entire way.
Yeah, and we're only in map 1. Full best of 3 ahead of us. Let's see how this continues. Ooh, ult off the tag. Derek's trying to find him, and he does. One ping, can he get the second? He goes up the boiler to try to dodge a little bit.
How do they reset here? Again, ideally, 100 Thieves wanting to get a pick off of that ult. And note their buy here. They've got a Stinger in the hands of Bang, a Guardian for Derek too. Now, if they can get Stellar this orb, yeah, he's going to have the lockdown online.
Oh, they're popping it too.
Now, you wonder here, as you take a look at the minimap, Cryo's still on the other side. So what's the play here? Do they fully commit to the space they're going to take off of the lockdown? Because Cryo's still going B.
Yeah, Smog has to be aware. He hears the timing right now. He's going to swing him, get a free kill. Austin's playing in the back of sight, really safe, but also really deep.
Meanwhile, the timing mid is going to be key here. No, I thought Concon was going to try to approach Frank, but no, he's going to join the rest of his team in the attempt at a retake towards A.
Ooh.
There's the op shot, shows up right on
going up.
time, pops the blades too. How far will he push it?
The ult is covering the spike. No, it's not. In the back of sight, it's not covering.
He's got it to half. He's got it 3/4 of the way.
Oh.
He's gonna stick it as well. It shows they can steal a defuse just as well as 100 Thieves can.
The plant is bad there from Asuna. I thought for sure you could just easily see that from the back of anywhere. But he's tucked behind the little segment. I think one thing that happens often is right now, while this is happening from Kong, your team is breaking the wall so that you could clear the back of sight.
Right.
Instead, they just break the back segment and clear that way.
Yeah.
And that is unconventional, so maybe not something even considered by Asuna, that plant needs to be good.
EDG with 3 of the last 4 rounds, and you're starting to feel some of the pressure mount towards the American representatives.
Interesting that 100 Thieves has still been able to cobble together buys.
Yeah. And they aren't always pretty, but you're right, they have them.
Kong with the op. Did find Valley last time, remember, instantly taken out.
Hear that dart hit early on. Cascade to push, and that's another kill netted for the Star Duelists on EDG's team. Note here too, Chichu has the lockdown to use.
Yeah, and Bang going down, maybe it's not as important when you have Cryo playing the Omen on this, but still it's so crucial. You don't have the same tools to pivot. Don't have that orb in mid, don't have the wall to put up on P, but there you go. They have to play aggressive, and they're doing a good job of it. Chichu, can you get out? Yes. That's really important so you can use the lockdown in late round.
Again, you see the individual agency out from Cryo on the Omen. Paranoia scales up off of his own flash and gets the kill on site.
Look how deep they got the alarm bot too. It's all the way up Gen. This lockdown, I mean, other than Stellar, who's still on site, I'm surprised he's not preemptively walking off, but maybe he can find a kill on Hao Dong.
Maybe for free. How patient are EDG? No, they're not patient enough. It was one.
And it's planted for them up in Nest right now.
Derek has a shock dart too. The only bit of post-plant utility they have to work with, and there it is,
Cove
instantly
up.
used. They've got the Cove to keep Smoggy safe.
They
or at
can't
least
see the
attempt
Cove.
to.
Oh, Derek through the wall.
Konkon in this 1v2, time not on his side. He's just gonna have to pick up the op, try to save it, carry it into the next round because the money does not look good for EDG, and that's gonna get 100 Thieves to map point.
Oh, I love this from Konkon.
It's gutsy.
Not only conceding the round, throwing the thumbs down, like, oh, I don't like that. But then to continue forward. Did keep the op up. Remember, he got the first pick on that round. That was almost critical to success.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so many playmakers on this 100 Thieves roster. There's a dart from Derek to get that kill. And they broke the Cove much earlier than I thought. I thought because the Viper wall was up, that they didn't really know that it was down.
Yeah.
Remember what I said at the beginning. Clearly they have experience playing.
Oh, look at the buy for EDG, man.
Yeah, it's shambles, but they have Kong with the op. Always hope.
It's been a key instrument to their success in previous rounds, but he's gonna have to do it again, and this time it doesn't look like the hit's going his way. At least not yet. You see him rotating towards B. Will he get here in time? They have the Viper wall. They're gonna have to deal with 2.
Spike is rotated over towards Asuna as well, who will get his res with the plant.
Surely
he can get it down.
Oh, they're gonna swing without the Viper wall up. It was just a bit early from Cryo.
Oh, there's a gap! No!
Numbers heavily in favor of EDG here.
And it's chaos in the 100 Thieves camp. You saw everybody running towards the spike.
That's another kill going in favor of EDG. Bang shot once again, Aaron. Doesn't land at all. Derek's in this 1v5. He's got utility scaling his way. Nice round out from EDG, right? We've got to give him credit where it's due, but there were a couple of mistakes there from 100 Thieves that tossed the round.
That's a huge blunder there from Asuna. Leaving a gap there, and again, I mean, that's 2 rounds where there's blunders from Asuna.
And Cryo again ahead of the Viper wall, trying to play off of his own flash, but it's just, and you see in moments like this, it's razor thin.
Yeah.
Right? This margin for mistake is so small.
Well, I still love how Kong goes deep in front of that, in front of any utility to block off his angle.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has the dash up. He can take that risk freely, and there's no control of yellow as well to try to punish him on that. So they're swinging from Cubby, from the B lane, and that's causing them issues. Will be 100 Thieves timeout. They've got 4 chances to close this game out. And Mike is going to try to solidify a plan to get there. whereas EDG holding on to dear life. But that one was clean.
Just a few moments left in the timeout. As again, we think about the previous round and then what's before us. Again, it was a light buy for EDG.
Yes.
Right? Like that should have been. Conventional wisdom would suggest that that's what puts you away, right? You shouldn't be able to win that round, but they win it. Now they're going to have guns. Who knows what the buy looks like for 100 Thieves right now? I can't imagine it's pretty.
Yeah.
But you're right. They do have 4 rounds to work with.
And experience becomes a factor here.
Yep. Composure, experience, yeah, maturity.
Especially for Edward.
Yep.
Kong with the op again. He's been instrumental over and over, finding some sort of pick before the hit comes. And by the way, on always it feels like the 2 impactful players for 100 Thieves that you can find early. Cryo with the Omen or Bang with the Viper.
Yeah. You see the buy for 100 Thieves here. 4 Sheriffs and then a Bulldog in the hands of Cryo.
Pick down mid. There's 2 players there. Bang's leg is spotted, and he's marked up.
Cryo, the first to fall, and that was the Bulldog.
Yep.
That was the only weapon they had. Now, I believe, yeah, Bang was
it.
close to pick it up, yeah. So still in play
They're
for now.
fighting the op. I mean, Stellar is on a good angle to challenge, right? It's kind of a one-way against the Phoenix!
Good night, man!
Oh, my goodness. This guy is ridiculous.
That's just outrageous.
The jump peek is so well planned and just spotting the head, too.
Dude, and you see why people were excited for this EDG roster.
Yes.
Yeah, they looked a little choppy last time we saw them, but they have so much raw skill.
Yeah.
Concon is it's just criminal how good he is,
He's
man.
the truth. He's the truth. All right. I watched the Champions run, and you know the pundits of Platinum were trying to convince me
The Platinum chat.
that Edward Gaming was really good, and I just wasn't buying it. And Champions kind of convinced me a little bit that they could be a threat in the future.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing why. And this is not like, you know, this is not one of those situations like where we're predicting or we're saying, oh, there's an upset happening or something like that, and the other team is the problem. It's not like the Liquid series against Secret where Liquid looked really bad. 100 Thieves still looks great.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's this close.
Very important to point out. Absolutely, I agree with you. Now this is a little different. Remember in the previous round, 100 Thieves tried taking some of the space up tube in the kitchen, but they were there was opponents waiting on the other side. This time they managed to scale up a little bit, and they're rewarded for a kill onto Haodong.
That spam gave up Haodong's position. He's trying to get a cheeky little bit of damage, and I think he did on the Bang.
Whew. What a snap.
I mean, they have to stay fighting this B lane right now. Smoggy and nobody are in trouble.
Yeah,
this is the round win right here. If they can lock this down, they're good.
7 bullets and Smoggy gets 3. Now Chichu on the other side, it looked like they were the ones who were stuck. They were the ones who were trapped and surrounded. But no, they managed to keep 100 Thieves back. Opgon Bang has still so much to do. Nobody's weak, sure. Oh my gosh!
That's a moment. 1 bullet.
15 HP. Nobody weak. 33 seconds.
30 seconds left.
For the ace, too.
I mean, surely they know where he is at this point. It all comes down to nobody, and he's weak. Bang, 15 HP as well. 1 bullet secures the round. Secures everything for either of these players. Bang going aggressive. Here's the rotation. It's 13 seconds left, and it's all on Bang. He's got to pick up Spike. He's got to get there quick. As you see, nobody going around. He's got the Hunter's Fury, too.
There's no shot. Can Bang dodge the Hunter's Fury?
There it is.
The dart is delayed. Oh, no time.
It's delayed gorgeously. What a play out from nobody to have the wherewithal to run away, avoid the fight, and then use the Hunter's Fury to secure it.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
And props to Smoggy, too. He had a lot to lift in that as well.
Yeah.
Just to stop that pushing from 100 Thieves, I think mistake there for them was to stay and fight on this B lane right here, Smoggy. They're pushing up with the drone, and 100 Thieves is challenging because of all the mid presence that they have. They think they're getting a pinch off, but no, they're not. Great attempt from Bang. And even gets the spike down too, which actually maybe nets them a little bit of a light buy here.
Yeah, better buy for sure.
Look at how many ults there are for 100 Thieves. KJ ult, Viper ult, so many impactful ones right now, and nothing on the side of EDG. They just used the Hunter's Fury to lock up that round.
Derek also, as you talk about ults for the side of 100 Thieves, Derek's just 1 point away from having his. They still have a few lifelines to work with here, but as we mentioned a couple of rounds ago, EDG are applying so much pressure.
It's so tough to figure out where Kong Kong is, too. He's almost always been picking the right side to go to.
Yep. There it is. That should confirm things. The question is, do they double down? Do they push into this? They try to push him off. They go aggressive, and they're rewarded with the kill. Once again, the plan up in Nest, the wall up too.
Oh, and this controls underneath, too.
Oh, but nobody's up. Are they going to clear him? That's the Viper's Pit!
The cage ult, though, that's something else you have to deal with. Asuna gets another one on site, gets traded out. Cryo with the up!
It's a 3v2 here. It's scaled up. They're going to have to respect it.
Still a Cove, still a High Tide, still some tools in this post plan, but Derek did get the kill to have his Hunter's Fury, so locked out the last one with one, but this time it might be your downfall.
Smoggy going up top. You hear him taking the rope, and there it is. The Hunter's Fury should secure things. And no, it's actually the Stinger out from Stellar that gets 100 Thieves the Icebox win.
An unconventional approach for the man who was just on your screen as well. Cryo on the Omen, and it looks good. Edward Gaming with definitely some bite to them, though.
Absolutely.
I was really worried that this series was going to be very boring, honestly. Because 100 Thieves looked great, and EDG, I was not really knowing exactly what they were going to bring, but the Scrimbucks for me got me excited, and this got me excited.
Yeah, they're delivering. It's only been one map, but they're delivering every single way that you could possibly ask for. You know, you talk about matchups like this, and you go, well, the fundamentals from the more drilled and sound teams should win out, but there were a couple of mistakes on the side of 100 Thieves that we saw, and EDG capitalized those gorgeously. We have Lotus on the other side of this break. Map 1 was good, map 2 will be better. Don't go anywhere, friends. We'll be right back.